It's the grandson of Right Thought. Welcome to the School of Marvelous Light, Lil Flop. Now, I'm sure y'all remember back in school where your teacher would teach you and instruct you, and ultimately they're building you up to pass a test. They're preparing you for a test that is to come. And I want you all to know, Little Flop, at this School of Marvelous Light, that all of the things that you've heard here, all of the lessons, all of the reminding that you have received here at the School of Marvelous Light is to prepare you for this test. During that test, the teacher is silent and the students are silent as well. And the teacher, the things that they've taught you are in your remembrance now. They're in your heart. And so you reference them during the test. You reference what the teacher has taught you during the test. You can no longer go back and ask the teacher. You can see them. They're sitting up there at the desk, but they can't help you. They're just there to collect the results and grade it at the end. But during the test, they can't help you. It's now time to show and prove. Otherwise, there would be no need for a test. Otherwise, the students would just go to school and do whatever they wanted to do and still would pass. You see? But the test distinguishes the students, doesn't it? It separates the wheat from the tares, doesn't it? I know it's a little windy out here, y'all. My bad. But that's what separates the wheat from the tares. You see it, Little Flop? The test does. It's what I've told you all about, what I've prepared you for. That's why I'm telling you, don't have any leaven in your house. Why else am I saying these things to you? Just cause? Just cause? It's the reason for everything that the teacher said. Sometimes the teacher will tell you certain things so that you will know the answers to the test without telling you they're giving you the answers a lot of times, right, Little Flop? So it is here at the School of Marvelous Light. There are things that you have heard here that are going to apply when the test comes to your life. There's no way out of it. That's why I teach the way I teach so boldly with such authority. Because I know what the teaching does for the man who's willing to hear it. I know. How do you think I know? Because I've been tested, because I took the test. Therefore, I know what the questions are, and I know what the answers are. Or else I wouldn't be fit to teach, would I? Now, one thing you know about math is your teacher has a special math book up there at her desk, doesn't she, guys? Y'all know that book she got. Y'all know exactly the book she got. It's the one with the answers in there. And if you was lucky enough to get your hands on that book, then you knew the answer before the questions were even asked. Correct, little flockulators? You see it? Well, if you've been doing that here at the School of Marvelous Light, in other words, hearing the nuggets that have been dropped, taking the things that are profitable to you, withstanding the things that are not, you see, withstanding that fire that it takes to get to the purity, you see it? Then you'll benefit in their time of trial. Then you'll understand in the time of trial. Most students don't understand a lot of the shit the teacher was saying until the test comes. Damn, now I see why she kept telling me that. Now I see why my teacher kept telling me to read that. Had I have read it, I would have got the answer. Now I don't know nothing about this shit because I didn't read it. Hear that, y'all? You hear me? Y'all remember those reading assignments on the test? And you had to read, and then the questions would ask you questions based off of what you would have read had you have read it. But you know, sometimes we would like to just skim through and shit, thinking we can do this shit fast. And then we get to the question be like, so did Johnny have 5 eggs or did he have 2? You're like, shit, I don't know how many eggs Johnny had because I didn't read. Who the hell is Johnny? I heard about Kevin and Mary, but I didn't read about Johnny. And sure enough, the question is about Johnny. Shit. Now I got to go back and reread. You wouldn't have had to go back and go get no oil in your lamp. Had you got it when the grandson was pouring it, had you got it when the teacher was teaching it, then you would have been prepared when the tests come. Now, in case you were wondering if you've been taught accurately, it's kind of loud up here over this freeway, y'all. But in case you were wondering if you were taught accurately, I'm even going to tell you what the test is. The test is the carnal mind within you, warring. And he's warring so heavily and so hard, that's why it's a test, because he knows that if you overcome and win, then his place will no longer be found in your mind. Or as the scripture says, his place will no longer be found in heaven. Heaven is the mind where you think. Earth is the heart where you feel. See that there? So his place was no longer found in heaven, so he was cast down to the earth, the body. And when he was cast down there, guess what he produced outside of him? Through himself, wrath. See that little flock? Now, if you look at that seven-headed beast, one of his heads, is it called wrath? You will find out that it is. So you see the grandson not lying to you. The red dragon came down having great wrath. And why? Because he know he have but a short time before he is swallowed and flushed down into the bottomless pit. Can you hear that little flock of laters? You see it? Because this world only lasts for so long. It only lasts for a short little while. You see it? So if you withstand it, you bear it. And you bear it, then what you think? It's going to give you the outcome. But if you don't withstand it, or as he says, resist the devil and he shall flee. So if you don't resist or withstand, then what? He's going to tear your ass up. He's going to tear you up. And what's going to tear you up? Your fleshly mind is. Now, what would make him activate? That your state of being, listen good here, little flock, your state of being is in a peaceful state. Even though it's not true, it's in a peaceful state because you've stacked up riches in for yourself. See, so you have a sense of security that causes you to feel like you're in Jerusalem. It's a false Jerusalem. It's not the real Jerusalem because it's not eternal. See it? That's why there's a new Jerusalem that come down and match the new thoughts. But see, your thoughts was, well, I have a lot of money and I have my house is paid off, cars is paid off, and this and that is done, and this and that and the third is done, and bibbity, bibbity, skibbity, dibbity, dee. So I feel good. I ain't got a care in the world. You feel good, right? Now what happens when all that shit fall down? Your carnal mind is about to come down heavy as hell on your ass with great wrath. Why? I told you, disappointment. So see how it's not nothing outside of yourself? I told you, the grandson don't never point to nothing outside of you. I only point to what's inside of you because that's where the kingdom of heaven is. So if his place was cast out of heaven, that has to be from a place within you. That's right. When you're converted, you no longer let the flesh mind rule you and cause you to be happy because of the works of your hands or what you see, because you no longer judge that way. So if you no longer judge that way, then the carnal mind only has a short time before he's destroyed in you. Because now you're spiritually minded, because now you know true judgment, which is not to judge outward appearance or how a thing looks. Now you know it, and now you're doing it. Only the spiritual mind does that, not the carnal. Only Jacob does that, not Esau. Can y'all hear this wisdom today? He's the only one that does it. So when you no longer judge that way, then you're proving he's no longer your head. Well, he's going to have great wrath because you're doing that. So he's going to try to strip you bare of everything that you have in the 3D, every sense of security, so that your mind can now be in turmoil. I don't have. I'm unsafe. I'm sick. I'm this. I'm proving it through Job. I've proven it through Job as I've been proving it to you, honestly. Through Job. What was taken from Job? Everything that would cause a man to feel comfortable. Said he had great riches. So he had everything that made a man feel safe and comfortable. So when he was stripped of it, his wife said, why don't you curse I am and just die? Because that's what will happen if you curse the name of I am. She said, why don't you just do it, seeing that you've lost all the things that should make you feel like you're loved? But he did not curse God's name. He said, blessed be the name. Do you understand his name? So then you understand what Job is saying. He's actually saying, I am not fucked up because my situation is fucked up. My wife here wants me to say that I'm fucked up because my situation is fucked up. So she wants me to curse God's name based off of outward appearance. I don't judge that way. So it will only be a short time before the truth comes to me that I am loved, I am safe. That's faith living right there, y'all. I don't know what y'all think that is. Shit looking crazy as hell, but you know that you're safe. Shit looking dangerous as hell, but you know that you're secure. The opposite of what the things are looking like. See, now you're proving you're no longer in the carnal mind. So that's why he wages war with the illusion in front of you. Okay, you ain't got no job no more. Now is you loved? Are you provided for now? Or are you gonna say, I am messed up, man. I'm broke. I ain't got nothing. Just curse God and die. That's what he wants. Because in other words, you're serving me when you do that. Thank you for believing the image that I gave you instead of the word that God gave you. See there? And anybody listening to this would have to say, wait a minute, grandson. What you're saying is the carnal mind judges outward appearance. So a man feels safe and secure if his outward appearance around him proves that he is. In that right world, y'all all have to admit that this is true. Every person living admits this is true. If I have a lot of money in my bank account, if I live in the place I want to live in, if I'm driving with the things I wanted to drive and doing all the trips and doing everything I wanted to do and drinking the best wines and doing the best of the best of the best, I am blessed. You're going to praise God's name for that. See, even though that person doesn't even know they're praising God's name, they don't know God's name as I am. They don't even know it, but they're doing it. See that? But when they lose their house, when their spouse leaves them, when they can't see their children, when they have no money, when their family turns their backs, when all their friends turn away and run away, when they are offended at you and they all turn and leave you high and dry, what are you going to say you are now? Can't y'all see how simple it is to understand what the grandson's saying to the world? Y'all are going to think you are what your circumstance tells you are, and you're going to die doing that. I'm trying to teach you guys how not to do it. But all y'all hear is the outward sound. He's yelling. He's using certain words. Oh, he's doing this, he's doing that. You're using the carnal mind to listen to me. Why would I try to appeal to your carnal mind if I am not talking to the carnal mind? I am speaking spiritual words. I am speaking spiritual things. If I'm not, then how come I'm telling you that that's what it's about? It ain't about no fucking dragon falling out the sky. That's not what it's about. But the world think that's what it's about. It ain't. It's your thoughts. It's how you think. It's how you judge is cast down. And how you judge is lustfully, enviously, covetously, as long as you have that dragon in you. Isn't that correct? Wrathfully. But when you are delivered of that, and that is cast down in you, and you no longer judge that way, for that is the end of that world you were living in. You lived in a certain world when you lived in that world of outward appearance. Now you are translated into a totally different world. You are in the world, but not of it. Can you understand what I'm saying? So now, do y'all understand what the test is going to be for you? It's not going to be for you to labor with your hands. In other words, to work physically to overcome this test you're going to do. This isn't the kind of test I'm talking about. You're going to have to do inward work during the test. That's where the test is. It's inside of you. It's not your wife. It's not your friend. It's not your coworker. It's not your mother, and it's not your father. The test is done inside of you. So if you're focusing outside of the classroom, are you in the class taking the test? Nope. So you're going to fail. You're going to get an F. It's going to be incomplete, correct? That's right. That's right. And the test it's an easy solution to it. You see it? It's an easy solution. That's why Yahusha said it was. It's easy and light. The hard part for humans is that it requires faith. Now, once you understand human nature, then you understand why that's hard for a human being. I just told you what gives them all of his sense of peace, All of his sense of security, I told you what it is. It's outward circumstances do that. You're like, yep, it do. That's what everybody's looking for. That's what everybody's chasing after. They're chasing after a feeling that's associated with an outward circumstance. If I was on that beach, then I'd be happy. Okay, well, why don't you just go to the beach and be happy right now then? I can do that. By faith, you can. Close your eyes and do it. Oh, wow, yeah, I can. I can feel the sand. I can feel the heat of the sun on my face. I'm stretching out under the umbrella, drinking a damn pina colada and every damn thing. See? Now, is that causing you to feel any feelings? Yeah, it is. It's causing you to feel the feelings you would feel if you were there, isn't it? Yes, it is. So then that's what will get you there. The feeling that you are. That's the answer to the test, little flock. So you see how has nothing to do with anybody else. That's what I want y'all to know right now. Because if you don't know that, then you're going to attack. You fucking beast. You're going to attack anything. Because when a fearful person is fearful, that's what they do. A dog. You see him in the alley, right? He's sitting in the alley. He's a fearful ass, scared dog. So you reach your hand out to pet him on the head. What are you going to do to you? See? He didn't bite you because you're afraid. He bit you because he is. So then what do humans do when they're in a beast state? They bite other people because they're afraid of being exposed, of being a coward. They'll call someone else one. They're scared of being exposed for being fearful. So they'll just attack to show I'm not afraid. Outward appearance don't show what you is, Nick. It doesn't say, God didn't say outward appearance shows what a man is. God actually said what a man think and feel in his heart is what he is. They ain't the same thing, my nigga. They just not. Are they? See, this is the thing. People are like, why you talk like that, grandson? Why you be speaking like that? What, truthfully? No, this. And they're going to say something else. I'm like, what I'm asking you is it true? Yes, it is, but it ain't no but. I told you, booties be stanking and shit. So it ain't no needing you, they be stanking and shitting. So it ain't no needing you bringing up no damn butts. We clean over here. We focus on the clean things. What are you talking about a butt for? You see that little flock? You see it? When you know how to judge right, then you just laugh at people who don't know how to judge right. Hey man, you sound like you're this. Okay, God don't judge outward appearance, so he would never judge a thing by how it sounds. Would he? And then the person has to say, well, no, he wouldn't. So then why the fuck do you? See how I'm saying it like that? Hey, but you put that. I just proved to you that ain't how to judge right. See what I mean about this test is going to throw people all off because they judge outward appearance. They prove it every day that they do. They love what appeals to them, to their senses. They hate what doesn't appeal to their senses. That's simple. Well, there's a lot of things that are good for you that don't appeal to your senses. People be like, man, you should eat a clove of garlic. Okay, take a clove of garlic, chop it open and sniff. It's pungent. Take that clove and chuck it in your mouth and just start crunching on it. It's pungent and it's bitter, but it's healthful. It's better than eating a Jolly Rancher, isn't it? But which one is more palatable? So which one would a person choose more often? Well, a wise person would choose the garlic clove and an unwise person would choose the Jolly Rancher. In other words, a child who is ignorant, who doesn't know how to judge right, would judge wrong. He would think that's sweet, it's pretty, it's colorful and glowing, so I'll eat that because that's got to be the fun thing to eat and the thing that's good for me. No, it just feels good for a moment, but then your stomach going to hurt. You keep eating that shit, watch. Oh, yeah, I don't feel so good. Yep. My teeth, they're all rotted out and falling out. Yeah, I know. See how the devil lies? That's what I'm telling you guys. That's the security around you, or Jolly Ranchers. I don't know if y'all don't know how wisdom sound. I do. You have a bunch of Jolly Ranchers around you. So your teeth are falling out. You're getting sick every time you eat them. But then you say, no. They just taste so good that I have to keep on eating it. That's all sin is that way. It's just nothing but a Jolly Rancher. But the truth is always bitter. like the bitter herb in the Passover feast. Since we've been talking about the Passover, getting the leaven out, he also said get the leaven out, but he also said partake of the bitter herb. So now that we know what leaven is, thank you, Abba, for adding this to the message. I had no plan on saying this, but since he brought it to my attention, I surely will. Since we were talking about leaven, what does it mean get the leaven out? What that mean, little flock? That means get the pride out, get any semblance of the beast out of your body. So what does it mean to partake of the bitter herb? What does that mean? We know what the lamb is. There's lamb, there's unleavened bread, and there's bitter herb. So we know what the lamb is. What is the bitter herb? Well, what did he say? To remind you of what? Of what you had gone through. The bitterness of slavery. The bitterness of hardship, of judging wrong. What judging wrong will do, it will give you a bitter life. That's the truth. That's the bitter truth. So they don't forget to eat that during the Passover as well. The bitter part of the truth. The truth that you just didn't know, what you thought the fuck you knew. You thought you knew what was right. You've been listening to men tell you what was right. Y'all think that using this language is a certain way to use it clean. It's a filthy language from its start. And you guys think you can clean it up and make it clean by how you use it? If it were not unclean, then why would God say he has to return the pure language to his people? Pure mean true with no guile in it, because that's the language Yahushua speaks. I can prove that with scripture. But y'all want to talk about things that y'all just want to conjecture about and make up and try to make it seem like. No, fuck seeming like, nigga. I want what is. I don't give a damn how bitter it is. I want what's good. Okay, nigga, well, if you want to get this chest to be that big, you got to do these bitter ass push-ups. You got to do these bitter ass flies, chest flies, and all of this shit you got to do. Bench pressing. Don't you? Yeah, shit, I do. You won't get the results without it, will you? No, I won't. So it's bitter, isn't it? Yeah, it is. But it's the truth to get the results you want. Same it is here. But people don't like things that are bitter. They wipe that off their plate in every way. Not just off their physical plate of food. They push it off of their plate of anything that they do in life. They don't want to do it the true way because it's tedious or hard to them, so they just don't. It's bitter. You can't even find a grape that got seeds in it anymore. You can't find a grape that got seeds in it. Why? Because the seeds are tedious to work around. It wouldn't be better if we just had a grape that we could just pop in our mouth and eat like a piece of candy without having to work around those stupid seeds? How about making watermelons where there are no seeds? Isn't that more convenient? See how the carnal mind thinks? You know that's carnal. It's not spiritual. You know that's the carnal mind that says it's more convenient and easier and better if we take the seeds out and make it seedless. Make it infertile and sterile, and then you eat it. That'd be better for you because it's easier. No, easier and convenient ain't better. Bitter is. Having to eat around them seasons. Spit them shits out on the ground so we can get more watermelon, nigga. Y'all don't understand nothing, though. It's easier. It's more convenient. Oh, boy, that's all this nigga got to say to you is more convenient. You just take it. Wow. So do y'all understand what I'm telling you here today? When the test is on, you got to deal with it. And you ain't going to be able to run back and go get no oil. You ain't going to be able to run back and study no more, in other words. You're not going to be able to go back and get no more preparation, in other words. That's what oil in your lamp mean. Preparation. You're not going to be able to go get prepared no more. You should have been prepared. And if you came here to the School of Marvelous Light and have consistently come and withstood the bitterness of the truth that you hear, then guess what? You're ready. You're girt about and prepared for it. If you do what I'm telling you, you will be, because I have already done it. I mean, I know people get strange and up in arms when I say it, but then how else am I telling it to you if I haven't experienced it? I cannot tell you something I have not experienced. I won't. It's vanity for me to tell you something I think instead of telling you what I know. And what I know is you're going to have to go inside and be quiet. Otherwise, you'll start to talk to other people. Okay, that's called cheating. That's called cheating. And if you cheat on the test, you know what happens. You get sent to the principal's office. And then you're going to wake up the next day with shame. Because you cheated and got caught. Now, what the grandson's saying, I'll give you an example of what I mean about cheating in this scenario we're talking about with this test. When the test happens, it happens within you, but you're looking outside of yourself for relief from what you're internally experiencing, because that's what human beings do. That's why they drink. That's why they smoke. That's why they fornicate. That's why they do all the vices that they do, is to escape what they internally feel with something outside of themselves. So that's called cheating on the test. Oh my God. And it causes you to wake up the next morning with shame for being caught cheating. So now, you feel the test inside of yourself. I mentioned a husband and wife, so we'll use that as an example. The husband goes and says, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling this, I'm feeling this. And it's because his wife maybe is, like I say, maybe she's being cold, maybe she's quiet, not saying anything to him, maybe she ignored him, didn't look at him, whatever the case may be. That's his test, but he thinks it's hers. So he goes to her and he goes, what's going on? And she goes, nothing, I don't want to be bothered right now. Or she just goes, nothing. And he can see it's something. It's best to just be quiet and go on and say, okay. Which is what you should have did when you saw the energy. Because they're in the middle of a test. So then don't go cheating. You just wait till they're done taking the test. They're stumped on an answer. There's no need in you going over there saying, hey, why you stumped? Hey, what's going on? Why you not answering the question? Because I don't know the fucking answer right now. I'm thinking, okay, well, do you want to know the answer? That's cheating. Y'all understand the principle I'm saying here? Going outside of yourself to relieve the feeling you feel is cheating. Because what you need to actually succor you, or in other words, the what's the word I'm looking for? The remedy or the medicine that you need is actually in you. It's not outside of you. So it's not you feel bad or lonely, so you need your wife to show you more attention. That's not the answer to the problem, see? The answer to the problem is, I am lonely. That's the problem, not your wife. You may say, grandson, why are you doing that? Why are you having that reaction? Because it's just so easy, like Christ said, to make peace once you know that that's what it is. It's you. Okay, wait a minute. I'm blaming my wife because I feel some insecurity. They ain't got nothing to do with my wife. So it ain't got nothing to do with her. This has to do with me. Doesn't matter when it started, and it doesn't matter who caused the defect in my life. That don't matter. See, because I forgive any damn thing, because I'm going to be forgiven by Abba for everything if I forgive. So I'm already going to forgive. That ain't the point. I just want to know and learn what it did to me so that I can fix it. It caused you to say things like, I am lonely. That's what the devil is testing you about. Okay, let me strip your friends and family away. Now say it. Say it. And you're like, say what? Say, I am lonely. Can't you see that you are? And then that one that judges by faith says, no, I don't see. He goes, what? No, I don't see what you're trying to show me. I don't have those pair of eyes anymore. So I can't see what you're trying to show me. But shit. See, and then he gets wrathful and he starts throwing more shit at you. Well, to take that away. Okay, I know you saw that. Maybe your house. Maybe all your wealth. Just like Job. I know you saw that. Now what do you got to say? Because remember, when he had that conversation with God, the carnal mind that is, had that conversation with love, the carnal mind said, he will curse you to your face if you take everything from him. See? See? Why would he tell God that? Because he is the God of outward appearance. He is the God of this world, of sensual world. He's the God of that. And so he gets praised when you feel good. It feels so wonderful every time you feel a feeling associated with what he has given you. You rejoice over what he has given you. And if he takes it away from you, he knows you feel bad. So he's telling God the same thing. He's telling God the same thing. He will hate you if you take it away. No, your children hate you when you take it away. And you're going to take it away because everything you give them is temporal. And they will hate you for that. We will not hate our Father because we understand how our Father is. We understand he give, he taketh away. Blessed be the name of I am. What he give me and take away from me has nothing to do with who I am. Wow! Y'all act like that ain't profound what I'm saying, but yet y'all don't live like that. I don't give a damn what this nigga take. What he gives. I am what I am. When I woke up this morning, regardless of what I had, regardless of what I looked like, regardless of what I got on, regardless of what I don't have, I am what I am. That's his name. So what in the hell you think can change that? Shit, this guy's different. Yeah, I'm converted and changed. Simple as that, nigga. So you got a short ass time before people that think like me are running this bitch. Huh? You hear me that? You hear me that? You hear me that? Or no? Because I'm saying it clear, crystal clear, so that you can understand it, and there ain't no damn guile in this shit neither. I ain't got no trickery in my words. These other people that speak fanciful to you will never use a cuss word, will never get riled up, will never get full of zeal. They're always seemingly in control of themselves and always speaking perfectly and with great clarity and everything like that, so that they can appeal to you, so that you'll say, watch what you'll say. You'll say, wow, they speak so good and clear. Wow, look how they're dressed. Wow, look how educated they are. Y'all know good and damn well the people of God have never been called educated by the world. So then why in the hell would you expect somebody to come before you speaking very eloquently and educated when the Bible says that his are considered to be unlearned? Even Yahushua was considered to be that. He from Nazareth. What the hell he think he know? He from a little ass piece of crap town like Bethlehem. Nothing good ever came out of Nazareth. That's what they said. That's what they said. Ain't that interesting? Well, I'm a Nazarene. See what they say? Don't nothing good come out of there? Look how I am. Ain't it interesting when you see the truth? I'm a true Nazarene. So then what you're seeing is why people say that Nazarene are unclean. See? Look how I talk. Look how I act. Look at the way I give you the truth that I give you. Look at the way I am about it. Look at my lifestyle. Look at the way I dress. Look at the way I appear. That shit don't appeal to men, not one little bit. Getting up in people's face don't appeal to men. Raising your voice doesn't appeal to men. Looking rough around the edges don't appeal to men. Wearing the same plain stuff don't appeal to men. Do it. It appeal to who? Well, there's a God up there that said, let it not be the outward adorning or the braiding of your hair or costly apparel, but let it be the hidden man of the heart. So am I lying to you or am I telling you the truth? Am I lying to you or am I telling you the truth? One or the other. Either you guys make this tree good and its fruit good, or you make it evil and its fruit evil as well. But of course, you would have to know what evil is. Evil means divided. A house divided can't stand, neither can a kingdom divided stand. So then you can't stand if you're divided. I would call that evil. If it causes you to fall, I would say evil things cause you to fall. That's being divided inside yourself. Now, are my teachings divided? Or are they the same? Just like I am. Are they the same? Do I change or do I stay the same? See? See it, little flockulators? See? So like I said, if you're able to glean what you're hearing here of the diamonds that's in it, just like when people search for diamonds in their water. They get a pan and they search for gold. They get a pan and they shake it and they sift and sift and sift to find the valuable things in it. They don't get offended about the rocks that's in there. They don't get offended about the sand that's caught in there. They just throw that shit to the side because it's a big ass diamond in there. Give me that shit like blood diamond. I'm putting this shit under my toe. I'm going to run down there and act like I'm taking a dump. I'm going to take that diamond, put it in my ripped piece of my fabric, tie that diamond in that shit and bury that shit in the dirt. But I ain't telling no Edomite where I hid my shit. Y'all hear me, that little flock? I ain't caring about that mud and that dirt when it's a big diamond sitting there. I'm just waiting for the diamonds to pop up because I know they will. See? That's how I would be if I was coming to the School of Marvelous Light. I would be like, every time a video uploads, I'm just going to sit here and listen because I know a diamond popping up in that pan. And so while everybody else is going, oh, look at all the dirt. Look at all the rocks. Look at all that. Judging the pan wrong, I'm judging it right, saying, look at that big ass priceless diamond sitting there that nobody wants. I do. Thank you, grandson. See? Because I could just sit right now all alone to myself and pass this test and never have told you that it's coming, never have told you how to pass it. I could do that. But that really wouldn't be loving, would it? So then if you have a question as to why I'm even doing this right now at all, what's the answer? So you can pass. Now, if I don't love you, why am I interested in you guys passing this test? Why am I dealing with all of the ridicule I know will come from men, because I know how men judge before I even stepped out here? Abba prepares you for what you're going to do. And what the preparation Abba said going to happen when you go speak on his behalf? He said the people will start to hate you. They will become mean-faced towards you, and their countenance will change. But he says, fear not their faces. Now, why would he have to warn his speaker to fear not their faces if their faces are not going to be ugly toward him? Now, why are their faces going to be ugly toward him? Because they don't like what he has to say, because it's bitter. Now, did you guys read about Isaiah? Do you know how Isaiah the prophet was killed? Do you know what happened to him? He was sawn asunder, just like the Bible said that he was. He was sawn in half with a wooden saw. Why? Because he said that Jerusalem was wicked. And he said that Samaria was wicked, and that the nation of Israel is going to fall, and that their kings would die. And they didn't like hearing that. So they sawed him in half and killed him. And y'all talking about a nigga don't like how I talk or don't like how I look. I know you don't. I'm sawing me in half like Isaiah, or stoning me like Stephen, or hanging me on a cross like Yahusha, or I know what company I'm in. But guess what he did to my face? He made my forehead like flint, right up against yours. So now do you understand why I just don't care? I just don't care what you think when it's time for me to save you. I know you won't understand. I know. When you're in the water drowning, you half the time don't even know you're being saved when you are. I know. I understand it. So like I said, but this test that you're going to have to pass, you're going to have to pass on your own. Let each man work out his own problems on his test. See that, little flockulators? See it? So all of these messages about judging correctly, because what does the Comforter come to tell you? Before I end this message, what does he do? Well, he says he shall reprove the world of sin. So that means he has to correct the world of what sin is, because they have been telling you what it is and they're wrong. They're wrong about what sin is. But I tell you the truth of what it is. Sin is when you say, I am sick. Sin is when you say, I am alone. Because that's not actually the truth. If the Father is in you, his Spirit is in you, then how could you ever be alone? That's the truth of the matter. But the test is going to wear you out so hard and so bad that you're going to feel as though. See, feel is the word I'm saying, not think. You're going to feel as though God has departed from you, that he's not with you and that he doesn't love you. You don't think Job felt that way, guys? Just because he felt that way doesn't mean his man had to sin. The woman sinned. She deceived. She looks at the image. That's why his wife said, curse God and die, because she looks at the image and what it looks like, and the loss of her children and the loss of her goods and wealth and living lavishly and wearing nice clothes. She done lost it all. So God don't love us. Stop saying that he do. Stop saying you're safe. Stop saying you're okay. Stop saying you're taken care of. Why would you lie? Look at this. Didn't that seem logical, y'all, to talk to each other like that when everything is falling down in front of you? A man has lost his business, has lost his wife, has lost his children, has lost his health, has lost his goods, and he's sitting in the gutter as a bum now with holes in his shoes, scraping his fucking scabs on his body. And you mean to tell me it wouldn't be logical for somebody to come and say, what the fuck have you done to cause such a cursed life to come upon yourself? Well, actually, I was living so perfectly, actually, that I became a target to the enemy of those who live in such a way. So while you think I did something wicked to incur God's wrath, what I actually did was did something so well that it actually put me on the radar of the enemy. But y'all can't hear it. Y'all can't hear it. Why do you think the Bible says they hate he who rebuketh in the gate and he who speaks uprightly? How come you think that? I told you, people can cuss at y'all all day as long as they're on a stage with a microphone named Cat Williams or Martin Lawrence. or Eddie Murphy. Then y'all don't hold them to know that same judgment. But at the moment somebody says they're speaking God's words, then you start to judge them for the same things you don't judge those other guys for. Well, why do they get a pass? That's my question to you. Why is it different judgment? I know what you're going to say. You're going to say, well, it's because they're not saying that they serve God. They're not saying that they're preachers. They're not saying they're this. They're not saying they're that. But aren't they still doing something wrong? So if a man didn't say he was a murderer and he killed somebody, would you call him one? Or would you say, no, he's not a murderer. He just killed somebody. Would you say that? Well, no, I wouldn't. Okay, then. Okay, then. You'd call him a murderer. Shit. It's just the way it is. If a nigga lied to you, you'd call him a liar. You wouldn't just say he lied. You would say, that nigga's a liar, man. As soon as he lied to you, you say he's a liar. So why is it any different here? Okay, as I said, the Comforter has to come reprove the world of sin. He also comes to correct the world of judgment. That's the other thing he comes to do as well. See what I'm proving to you? The world judging wrong, so somebody has to correct it. Now, in order to correct the wrong judgment, you must be able to clearly see a distinction in how they judge. Now, let's see if I'm actually bringing that in when I'm pushing out old judgment. What is the old judgment the grandson is pushing out? Outward appearance, how things appear, tells you what you are. That's a lie. We're pushing that out. The truth is, you walk by faith, which is, what is it you desire for yourself? I desire peace. I desire safety. I desire security. Well, how would you obtain that? Through the Father's name. I would pray in his name. Okay, so pray in his name, grandson, and give me an example and show me how you would pray in faith. I am safe. You see the attitude coming with the words? Not just this. Okay, I'm safe. And then you would tell me, if you were training me, you would say it like you mean it, because it don't do you no good to use the word if you don't believe the word. You have to ask believing, brother. Doesn't this sound like what Yahushua was saying? Mm-hmm. You got to ask believing. So I am safe. Believe it. That's why I'm walking and looking like this, along with saying I am safe. Conviction along with it. Believing. Then you shall have anything you ask for. So there's a world that cometh. That's Jacob. That's the world that I'm the king of. See that little flag? He said I should make you a nation of kings and priests. So don't get in your feelings about it. You are a nation of kings and priests, a peculiar people. See, I'm peculiar. That's why y'all don't understand when y'all be hearing me talk a lot of time. That's sinful. That's dirty, isn't it? And then the grandson break it down to you and show you that it's not, and you be confounded. You be like, what? I didn't know that. You're right, though. Damn, you're right. Shit, I didn't know. Because I come to reprove you. I'm proving it. Of judgment, sin. Mm-hmm. Y'all hear that there? So why would I do that? So that you could be prepared for the test. So that you could be prepared for the test, because it's here. It's here. Y'all don't feel it? Y'all didn't feel that yesterday. That's what you telling me? Y'all didn't feel that first wave? Shit, I did. I did. And it's still there. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Test is on. So y'all gonna have to decide what you're gonna do before it comes to its fullness. Because once it comes to its fullness, you can't reach out. You can't go get no oil. You can't do nothing else. You can't go back and practice. You can't go back and hear it again. You can't go back and click back on the grandson right thought and say, hey, man, what you said, man? What you said? What you said? Why you didn't listen when I said it? And then when you find out why you didn't listen, you're going to find out your judgment was fucked. Because when you tell God, why, he's going to say, why you didn't listen to my servant? You're going to say, because he cussed. Because he was poor. Because he wasn't a rich man. Because he was loud. That's the only thing y'all going to be able to say. And Abba going to say, well, I'm more concerned with lies. When I sent my son, I took a specific thing out of his mouth. And I told you what I took out. That ain't good enough for humans or something? God is the one watching you at the comedy show laugh at Martin Lawrence and Cat Williams cuss up a storm. God's watching you laugh at that. But then he watches you get disgusted if you hear the grandson use the same word. And he sees your hypocrisy. Not me. He does. That's why I tell you, don't judge a thing outwardly. Okay, well, when I'm in church, I act like this. But when I'm at the club, I act like this and get drunk and get fucked up. I'll never do that in front of people at church. We know. But you're still doing it. And so God hates that. So he's going to expose it. He's going to expose it. Just that damn simple. It's the fact that you're not true and you're not real. The world of Jacob is truth. It's inward. It's not outward. See it? So that's the world that's coming. And those who can't pass the test or endure it will not enter into the new world. They can't, because the new world is not based on outward appearance. You cannot acquire or get anything in the new world that way. Oh man, don't you know why the righteous was poor? It was like silver and gold, I have none. But what I do have, I give you. See? See? The old world be like, hey man, it's about silver and gold. And it is. That's the old world. But it's passing away, y'all. We at the end of it. And that's why I be telling y'all to share. Don't worry about stacking it up and saving it up to do something with it. It's over with. It's temporary. The greater thing to do is to share and to judge righteously, knowing that that's a better investment. If you knew that and you could judge right, then you do that. But since you judge wrong, you think hoarding it for yourself is benefiting you. It's not. It's not at all. If it was, then Yahushua wouldn't have told that rich man to sell his goods and give it to the poor. He wouldn't have said that. But he did say it, because that world is over with. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. And the kingdom of heaven is not about a bunch of niggas slaving and laboring that y'all are so proud about. That's not what the kingdom of heaven is about, is it? It's about rest. It's not about work. That's what I keep telling you guys today about. Hey, there's a cooling of the day. And there comes with a change in the cool of the day. Do you understand those words of wisdom or not? Do you? So like I said, it would be wise that you all be prepared for the internal battle. Okay? And if you have found yourself experiencing it already, then it would be wise that you now apply what I'm telling you to apply, which is silence. Do not take it out on anybody else, because it's not anybody else's fault. This test will benefit you by showing you your defect, which means the thing that makes you want to jump out of silence. Picture yourself sitting at a table, okay, before I end this message. You're sitting at a table, your hands are on the table, and you're sitting there completely calm. And then somebody starts to provoke you. They start to try to trigger you. And then they say something or do something that really hits home, and you're about to leap from that table and jump and grab them by the throat. Now, do you think you should do that? Of course not. Do you think it's righteous to do that? Of course not. So what should you do? Remain in self-control. So that's what I'm telling you to do. Now, in order to do that, you have to have an incentive, because that's the way men might operate. The incentive is the reward you're going to get for staying in self-control. You will see it pass. You want to pass the test, don't you? So then stand still. Stay calm and breathe. And use the breath wise to say the thing opposite of what you're looking at. That's trying to entice you into an argument, into strife or discord with a brother. Because that's the only way people know how to take it out. Is on another. That's the only way they know how to do it. That's proving that they don't know how to judge right, that the defect is in their own heart. And if they dealt with that, then this argument will never be happening. People want to tell you what to do after you argue, as if that's going to help you. If you prevent the shit, then it won't happen, will it? So, bro, it's like any sickness that you get, any cancer or anything like that. You did something to get the cancer, correct? So if you don't do the thing that gave you the cancer, if you never did it, you wouldn't get it. But people want to do the shit that give them the cancer, get the cancer, and then want to start to take chemo and shit, go and get radiation, taking all kind of pills and shit. You weren't taking radiation, chemo, and pills that gave you the cancer. Now you feel like that's what's going to save you from the cancer. Come on, man. Come on now. Told you, it's about truth. Cause and effect. True cause and effect. The cause is you jumping up from that table. And then you're going to say it's because he triggered you. The fruit of the Spirit is self-control. Can self-control be triggered? Answer that question. No. If it was okay for you to jump up from that table and strangle them, then you wouldn't have waited until you were triggered to do it. You would have just did it as soon as you were slightly offended. You wouldn't have waited till you couldn't take it no more. See what I'm saying? The reason why you wait till you can't take it no more is because you know it ain't right to do it in the first place. But it was his fault. No, it's not. It's your fault. You're angry. You're the one got wrath in there. You're the one that got covetousness. You're the one who's envious or jealous or insecure. Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay. So if your wife doesn't talk to you today, since that's the example we were using, if your wife doesn't talk to you today, does that now mean that you are unloved? Does that mean your wife doesn't love you? Now, the old mind going to say, well, yeah, I mean, look how she's treating me. She's hating me right now because you're judging wrong. I bet you this shit ain't got nothing to do with you, but you about to make it about you by saying, hey, what's wrong, honey? And then she's going to go, nothing, man, whatever. Or give you some attitude. And then you're going to go, hey, I was just coming over here to ask how you were doing. And you're just going off on me. See? So were you really going over there to ask to help them? Well, yeah. Then why are you offended if your intent was to help? Servants that help, don't be offended when a person lash out and say you don't do it right, or don't give it to me, or don't do it. They don't be offended. They just be like, all right, I won't. You go this way. Which is how you should have been with your wife. You all right? I don't want to talk right now. Okay, no problem. I'll be here when you're ready. Now, brother, this is the part the sister don't know. Some of them might hear that because they'll hear this because they listen to this message, but this is for you specifically, brothers. When you finally get to that point, when you can do that, when you can say, all right, baby, when you're ready to talk, I'm out here. And then walk. Don't stand there looking at her and shit, trying to wait for her to give you some type of reply. Just turn off and walk off and do your own damn thing. Now, when you go do that, here he comes. See? Here he comes. What the fuck she so mad about? What you did? And then you're going to start saying, well, I didn't do anything. What's she treating me so fucking bad for? See this conversation you're having? Who are you having it with? The carnal mind, who's judging that something is wrong. It ain't nothing wrong. That's nothing wrong. So then don't act like it is. Okay, she loves me. She's fine. We're all good. Everything is okay. I'll just wait patiently until she meets me at that high peak, that mountain. I'll sit there and wait for her. As Abba said, I will go to my place until you acknowledge your sin. And acknowledging the sin doesn't mean she has to come to you and say, oh, I was so wrong of what I did. I am so sorry. I apologize. I did wrong. Acknowledging her sin is coming forward and saying, hey, baby, I know you came to talk to me earlier. I'm ready to talk now. That's it. That's it. That's enough for you. But it ain't enough for the niggas that's still in the old judgment. No. Hey, you want to talk to me? Nah, you was just pissed off earlier when you want to talk to me. Come on, man. Come on, brother, now. You ain't passing the test. You are what you are. Ain't you? It changed because she gave you some attitude? And vice versa, sisters. I'm just using this as an example, like I said. But it's going to come. As soon as you're offended, this is when it comes. See? But you're offended because of something that you experienced before this person ever came into your life. See, like I talked about in my last video about trauma and how people have suffered traumas at very young ages that made them defective. And so that gave a leeway for that one of them 7 heads on that beast to bite. Whether it be wrath, whether it be gluttony, whatever it is, you use it to cope. So if you feel insecure or treated bad or unheard or unloved or unseen, that's going to make you wrathful. And it can also make you prideful and seek for vainglory. Somebody see me, please see me. That's just the baby crying in you that was neglected in the crib, that wasn't picked up when you cried. So then forgive your mother or your father or whoever. Forgive them for that. And move on. See how it's not about your girlfriend? When you were sitting there and you was looking sad and she didn't say anything to you? That's you, that baby in that crib, waiting for your mom to come pick you up. Now your mom is your girlfriend waiting to come put her arm around you and ask you what's wrong. Can y'all hear that today? You're the same boy. Do y'all hear that today? Do you hear it? So that if you deal with that little boy, then you never have to argue with your wife. You never have to argue with anybody. You deal with him. He starts to feel unseen. He starts to pout. You start talking to him. I am seen by the Father. That's the truth. I mean, that's obviously the truth. I'm always seen. So let me stop acting like I ain't. I am seen. I am heard. I am checked on. See it, little flock? You choose which is your situation for you. You don't let the situation dictate what it is. You dictate what it is from the inside out, and you shall have it, little flock. So go ahead on, y'all, and pass that test when it comes for you, because the test is on. And it ain't no one-day test neither. It's going to last for a little while, y'all, until it be over. But if you stand and endure to the end, you shall prevail. Shalom, Israel.